There you go.
Mm.
Nick, we're back after a while and you're alive. How you doing?
I'm still alive and recovering from COVID, and we're ready for another Beer Analysis 101, starring your host, Macwell Star. We are looking at, surprise, surprise, something from Collective Arts. This is Collective
Ooh.
Lager.
But it's not an IPA, so that's new.
It's not an IPA. Yeah, I suppose that's different, isn't it? It's not an IPA this time from Collective Arts, because that seems to be everything else that they make, except for Stranger Than Fiction Porter, which is a bit of a one-off. But anyway, first and foremost, let's get down to who we have with us tonight, starting with the Beard. Beard is back, and he's in your gut and get in trouble. Hey, yeah, the Beard is back.
What's up?
Oh,
Wow.
I'm glad you were able to join us and take a break from Kingdom Come Deliverance for 20 minutes.
Have you beaten that game yet for the third time or fourth time or fifth time?
I did my first playthrough, and now I'm doing a hardcore playthrough for my first time ever. It's very different. There's no navigation on the map, and you get lost all the time. It's fun.
Yeah.
No fun.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah.
Sorry. All the way around by now, though.
You'd think.
Yeah.
Well, no, but when I wasn't playing hardcore, I abused the fast travel mechanic way too much, and I have no idea where I'm at. So it's fun. But
yeah, I was gonna say, when I was watching a review of that game, they talked about the hardcore mode. I'm like, that looks anti-fun. Like that looks like something I would never want to do.
Honestly, though, it's pretty. It is fun. Like all the negative perks and stuff. Anyway, beer. Nick's looking forward to have this, and thanks for having me. And
all right, thank you, Beardo. All right, let's get moving over to Hotley.
Well, you
know your name. Well, I mean, I guess, but yeah. Anyway, so Lee, how you doing tonight?
He's feeling hot.
It's cooled down now, thankfully, a little bit. It's only in the high 20s now, and still humid as fuck. But at least I got my air conditioner on, and it's cooled
you're
off.
Not getting much cooling effect from the bay, like in St. John. It's actually still pretty cool.
I live in the valley, dude. It stops all the cool air.
Gross.
It's just a big goddamn swamp.
Gross.
Lots of mosquitoes.
Yeah,
swamp nuts.
Possibly, but I haven't gone outside to check. So usually there's lots of mosquitoes.
He doesn't know what outside is.
Shut up. I'm doing fine.
Wow.
Though. So yeah, I'm looking forward to drinking this beer that was brewed on January 2nd of this year, and yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Jesus, how old is this can? I can't even see the day. Wow, it says 23 at the end. All right. Okay.
Well, I mean,
let's keep moving here.
It's a lager, so it's
a lager. It's true. All right. Thank you, Lee. Let's go over to the other Lee. Lee. How you doing tonight? Long time no see.
I am okay. I am laughing because now that I see the color of my skin, it doesn't look like it. But I went to the beach 2 days in a row and spent hours in the sun, and I look like I spent zero time in the sun. Great.
Plus you haven't been lobster-fied.
Plus you got two nipples on one of your arms. There you go. On that arm, you got nipples.
Yeah, I don't know where I got them from. Who knows?
Probably from
the very easily.
Mites in the sand or whatever.
These are actual bruises. These are not bite bruises. These are
those aren't bites? Oh, I thought
they're not sexy bruises.
They're not sexy bruises.
Oh, I thought they were mosquito bites.
No, bruises.
Well,
something grabbed me. I did something. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I bruise really easily.
You got in a fight with a mosquito.
There you go.
Maybe that's it.
Punch it.
All right.
I punched the mosquito, so I got bruised. That's.
I mean, she's a similar size to a mosquito.
You punched him with this part of your arm.
She was clotheslining it.
There you go. Yeah, she clotheslined a mosquito. Running down the street, she went like this with her arm and just whoop, 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 bruise.
All right. Anyway, moving right along. Thanks, Lee. Moving right along. Hi, Greg.
Hi, Nick. How are you? I've been in the sun too. I don't know if I look dark or not. Do I?
Go fuck yourself.
The bottom of my feet are untanned.
No! How terrible! The part of your body that you can't tan is not tan.
I had to tan my nuts today, so I was swimming au naturel. So that's.
Were you doing? What's that called? That where you suntan your asshole is like the the beaming.
Well, I wasn't specifically trying to suntan my asshole, but I was just floating around on a pool noodle with. If somebody chose to look over the fence, they got to see more Greg than they ever
I know
wanted to see.
what Nick's talking about there. There is like a weird trend of some people that are just like the bottom of your feet. The inside of your butt crack is where the sun doesn't shine. It's not used to like people like it's incredibly dangerous to do that.
There's some people that believe if you put ultraviolet rays on your butthole, it has healing properties or some bullshit like that. So
balls.
It's messed up.
They probably voted for Trump too.
It's called perineum sunning.
I thought it had a different name.
They're probably the same people that won't take the vaccine, but they're sniffing the horse tranquilizer or however the fuck you take horse tranquilizer.
You don't need a vaccine if you have the sun's healing. You don't need a vaccine if you have the sun's healing powers going up your asshole.
I mean, it works for Superman. Why wouldn't it work for the rest of us?
Sunshine. Whoa.
Maybe if Superman did it, like you could ultra superpower Superman.
I like Redbeard's glasses. Nick's, they're all right.
I know. Well, it makes them both look smarter.
I just wanted to.
I'm doing one of those glasses. What the?
I was just trying to read the bottom of my can because I couldn't see it.
Greg, please leave the chat if you're not wearing glasses.
Nah.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're an ableist.
Now I'm just so my future's so bright. I got to wear shades inside.
Did Lee's
actually,
okay,
unlike the rest of you schlubs, I do like this hot weather. I was gonna be outside, but unfortunately, a thunderstorm just decided to show itself. So I don't know if it's raining yet. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll go on the front porch and go from there. And my wife is like, no, I'm gonna sit there, and I don't want you to bug me. I'm like, all right, back to the basement. Back to the basement I go.
She's already used you for sex today. And
you can stay in the pool in the rain.
She has not used me for any sex whatsoever, which is unfortunate. No. But that's okay. My future is still bright.
I love when it's raining.
And you might get lucky when you take those things off again tomorrow. All right, so moving along, let's go to me, and I'm going to say hi. I'm doing okay. Thank you very much. I'm starting to get my energy and voice back, but I'm still kind of clogged up with that fucking COVID crap from last week. All right, so let me get down to the history on this. We've all pretty much heard everything there is to know about Collective Arts at this point, so I'm just gonna go through the standard stuff. So, yeah, Collective Arts founded in 2013 by Matt Johnson and Bob Russell. Along with their brewmaster, Ryan Morrow, began brewing on contract space at Nickelbrook and Burlington. Collective Arts at Nickelbrook opened a joint brewery in Hamilton a year later in 2014 at the site of the former Lakeport Brewery. Collective Arts bought out Nickelbrook's shares and now operates it as their main brewery. So they got a very, very, very large brewery for a craft beer distributor. And they got contract. I believe they got contract space, but they got a very high production level for such a craft brewery. They want to overnight become one of the. I mean, this was 10 years ago, but they overnight became one of the biggest craft brewers in Canada, which is pretty cool because I, in general, kind of like these guys. So, Collective Arts is known for its beers, many of which we've looked on BA 101. So, there's probably like 20 plus BA 101s we've done on this brewery alone, just because they make so much shit and we get it here in New Brunswick. Famous ones include Stranger Than Fiction Porter, which is a tasty porter, Ransacked Universe IPA, which is also tasty, Life in the Clouds Hazy IPA, Good Monster Double IPA, and of course their famous numbered IPA series. So tonight, amazingly enough, this is actually a different lager than the audio-visual lager they released a couple of years ago. This is Collective Arts Lager, 4.9% ABV, pale lager brewed with high-quality premium malt and hops. That's literally all they say on their site. First released in February of 2023, so last year, and it replaced their long-running audio-visual lager, which was brewed with brown rice and Y80 hops. The new simpler Collective Lager was brewed with the intention of creating a summer crusher backyard beer. Can art features artwork from Italian artist Raul33. So you can see that Raul33 _ on Instagram if you want to check out more artwork from this guy. That's really a very basic history we can.
From what I understand, Nick, they're 1 part craft beer, 1 part canvas.
Ooh.
That's not actually a bad analogy.
Well, they just
Yeah.
say it on the can.
That's their
part of the-
tagline.
Is it
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's bullshit, but it's on
Yeah.
the can. So.
I don't know. They do support artists in the sense that they always have like somebody's artwork on all their cans. Sometimes they'll have like one beer and like 3 different can versions of it. So, all right. Anyway, that's done there. Let's start circling back around, and eventually Dan will show up too. Maybe.
He says he's getting dinner. He'll be there in a few minutes.
Hey,
Thank you,
Redbeard.
Greg.
I'm helping.
I'm still getting used to Redbeard with glasses here. Anyway, that's awkward.
All the visually impaired people are doing it.
Audio visual. All right, Carrie.
Hi, what's
What's your history with the Collective Lager? And remember,
I-
this is a different beer from audio visual.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've had that much of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my history with this most exciting of exciting beers that I've ever been excited about.
Ooh, I'm glad you're excited.
It's the most exciting as ever excited.
I'm so excited,
I'm so
and I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. Oh yeah.
Do you really like it? Spoilers. All right. Thank you, Carrie. Let's go over to Lee. I think this is you don't get Collective Arts much out your way, so you ordered this one, right? What's your history on this one?
Yeah, this is my first time having it. I ordered it from Harvest Beer, Wine and Spirits here in Nova Scotia. Both they and Bishop Cellar, the other independent liquor store in Nova Scotia. They both have like several things from Collective Arts that I can get apparently, but I wasn't too interested because I've never been a big fan of this brewery, honestly. But yeah, no, it's the first time. I do say I kind of like the simple artwork on that. Would make good wallpaper for my washroom, probably. And look forward to jumping into this and seeing what it's like.
Jump
All right.
on in.
It's by
Dive on in.
Raoul 33 _. That's quite the fancy name
There you go.
from Italy.
All right. So thank you, Lee. Let's go over to Ladley. And Ladley, what's your history with this one?
Ladley?
This
Hello.
one specifically, I have none.
Uh-huh.
I also, it's mostly just because I'm not like, I don't really care for lagers. I just find with like collective. I find with like craft beers, there's so many different things with so many different flavors and everything that you can do that I really don't care about buying a lager. This one was, however, cheaper. It was on sale. I don't know if it was on sale for Greg as well. I assume. So, yeah.
It's on sale now. I don't remember when I bought it, so I may have bought it before the sale.
Okay, so it was like 50 cents off or something. It was like $2.70 a can.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so cheaper than your average beer.
Anything under $3 nowadays is considered cheap.
That's why I was like really surprised, and I couldn't find it at first, but it's because they had it at the front of the store. My can, by the way, is May 17th, so this year.
Fresh.
Refresh.
So I think
Nice.
I got one of the newer ones compared to you unlucky people who got last year's one.
Maybe it ages really well, though.
Yeah,
You never know.
there's
Right.
the more lagered.
Jesus.
My face did get a bit of sun though. You can see it. Everything else
can't-
is like super pale. Like this is so pale. This is like me getting color. It's so pale.
Yeah, I think you tan kind of like Agnes tans in
Right.
patches.
I don't tan. I spent like the day in the sun today and yesterday, and I'm
That's
very pale.
that's nature telling you that you're wearing too much clothes.
No, when we were using the swimming pool during the New Brunswick meetup, we unfortunately blinded 2 old people who came into the pool room. We were so pale. So.
We don't. Our bodies
people
don't like
that
the sun.
never
They
go
just want the
outdoors.
sun.
Mm.
Yeah, that is
Anyway.
my history with this specific beer. It is now. I'm making history with it now.
Wow.
All right. Woohoo, history in the making. All right, thanks, Lee. Let's go over to Greg. It was also
Ooh. Almost got a penis shot there.
yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, where you had your shorts leg punch up for a second there.
oh, you want a
No,
little
Jesus
upshot,
Christ,
Nick?
Gray.
Nick, is this making you
Stop
uncomfortable?
showing us how to sun your perineum.
So this is so I have not had this beer before.
What, the stout?
Yeah, I haven't had this. This is actually Hierarchy
Oh.
Irish Stout from,
All right.
I believe this was brewed in Lee's bathtub.
Hirely, yeah.
And so thank you, Lee. It's actually a pretty good stout. Whatever yeast you've got in your bathtub seems to work. And as for this beer, I haven't had it before. Haven't even opened this one yet. I did look up on Tapped, and I wonder if this is a rebrand of their audio-visual lager, because that used
It's
to be
not.
basically their... Oh, it's not. Okay. Because they're both...
Yeah, the other one
4.9%.
used to be brewed with brown rice, where this one is just basic.
Had
malt.
you listened to the introduction,
Yeah, Greg.
Gregory?
I don't listen to introductions. I want to go in blind, so I don't want Nick to spoil anything for me.
He may have
so.
said it during the intro, and then he may have also reiterated when I mentioned about it. So yeah, well, good job paying attention.
Well, that's. I mean, then it's Redbeard's fault because I
What I
want
love
to
about
purposely
you,
not
I-
pay
I
attention.
think we
to
need, if
detail.
we want Greg to pay attention, we have to say Greg before
No, you have
every
to say
sentence.
boobs.
Yes.
And then
That-
be really
that
quick
too?
right afterwards.
Yes.
Penis, vagina,
I have a question.
earlobe. I don't
It's,
know.
it's like when Nick is about to fall asleep on a
Lee-
movie night on Saturday. We say, Nick,
Lee-
tits.
Lee
Ah!
Russell has a
Big
question.
Works, doesn't
Big
it?
toe covered
He
in
has
hot
a question.
sauce.
Lee,
He has a
what's
question.
up, Lee?
Is this a rebrand of the audio-visual lager that they?
No,
You know what?
I
Lee,
had
you
to
know
look
what,
it
Lee?
up.
I think it might be because they're both 4.9%. So there's no
Right?
other reason.
They
wouldn't be.
they are the same, but they're not. This one.
Oh, you just said it. They're the same.
I mean, that's what I heard. Now,
same.
actually, I'm glad Lee Russell spoke up because I purposely decided that this needs the perfect glass because it's a lager, and in honor of the greatest lager of
Oh.
all time, it
Mhm.
has to be in the perfect glass. Now, here's history in the making.
Stealing my line too. Beautiful. Wonderful. Thank you for that performance.
I've got goosebumps right now, and it's not
Oh
from
my
my
God.
air conditioner on my bare arm.
Yeah, your future is bright again. Yay!
I have a mosquito bite on my arm.
Congratulations. You're a wonderful human being.
Yeah, and now I have to follow.
Well,
that
let's
up.
not go crazy.
All right, so what's my history with this one? I don't think I've ever had a can of this version either. I think that I thought it was the same beer as audiovisual lager, and they just can't change the can art.
Nick, did
So
you know
I
that one had
ignored
brown
it.
rice?
The original had brown rice.
Yeah, this one doesn't.
Apparently,
That's
this one
apparently the
does
difference.
not. Or at least their website says just brewed with premium malts and hops. Like the last one, they actually mentioned what hops they used and that it was brewed with malt and brown rice. This one says nothing about rice. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe it is exactly the same beer, but according to Collective Arts, it's not.
Wow. What
Anyway.
a bunch of liars.
I know. It could very well be. All right, so we've only
Quite
got
entertaining.
3 comments here from our favorite PA Brew News.
Cheers, Paul.
It says, well, look at this train wreck. They don't have my artwork yet, so screw them. I mean, did you submit anything to them? You got to get their. You got to leave a dead hooker on their.
Paul's artwork isn't nearly abstract enough for Collective Arts. Like,
Yeah, that's
Collective-
kind of
I
true.
think
actually.
that's a
I've
good
never
point. Like,
seen anything even close to something Paul would do on a Collective Arts scan.
yeah, don't get me wrong. Paul's artwork is amazing, but they're looking for,
I've bought a
bizarre
couple
shit
pieces
like
from
this.
Paul. Paul
Yeah.
makes awesome landscapes and fucking forest things,
Yeah.
and yeah, just he's-
Plus, you want your artwork on a good brewing company anyway, Paul.
Oh wow! Shots
Yeah.
fired.
Shots fired.
All right, so and of course, collectively mediocre, which is probably also a good assessment.
I
so.
personally, I'm like Collective Arts makes some these days nothing mind blowing, but they've made some amazing IPAs in my opinion. And then some of their barrel aged what is the porter and some of the stouts that's like has a name. Greg? What am I thinking of right now? Like the one that you can buy that was straight.
There's like an Imperial Porter or something.
Yeah,
maybe, wasn't there?
that came in that stupid fucking container.
I know the one you're talking about. I can't think of its name.
But the
What
name of
glasses
it,
do you have on?
the name of it, what?
Greg, he's wearing actual glasses now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have. They're not
Origin
real
of Darkness.
They're not real glasses. They're blue light glasses for when you're looking at a computer screen for too long.
oh, I have a pair of those. Nick, what I heard you ordered. Yeah, their Origin of Darkness
Origin
series.
of Darkness.
It isn't just that porter they like sold in that container. There's a whole series of like barrel aged stouts, and that series is really, really good.
Yeah,
But-
they're literally just called bourbon barrel aged porter, bourbon barrel aged imperial porters, and they just they do the year, and that's they're not very creative with that name.
No, but that's the thing though. They do. That's the one they sell in like the LCBO, but they'll do like a bunch of other stouts and porters and stuff that are barrel aged that you can't buy in the LCBO. And I've had a few of them, and they're fucking amazing.
Yeah, I wish we could try one of these at some point. You guys in your, I find Ontario just has better availability
Hey!
of barrel aged shit anyway.
Dude, last time I've seen a barrel aged anything in one of my LCBOs, I couldn't even tell you. Like it's because what sells is what gets the shelf space.
Well, yeah, that's
every LCBO here in town, the craft beer section has been slashed in half, if not in like more than half, because of fucking seltzers.
It's all because of like
It's-
Chris Lysak. And
Yeah,
drinking
it's
those
Klizak.
jerseys.
It's
Yeah,
ridiculous, man.
And
Like,
Ashley
Cool-
Sexton's not
Coors
drinking
Light.
as much anymore.
Has like a dozen different craft seltzers they sell now. It's
Yeah,
the
man.
craft seltzer story, but yeah, the flavored seltzer.
And
water.
that's the whole thing. Like the big like craft breweries had craft beer had a big momentum surge in the mid to late 2010s, and it was all because it was the latest fad. I don't think craft beer is gonna die, but it's definitely in a state of contraction.
I feel like the surge was still kind of like a COVID could have stopped to so many things, and
yeah,
that's one of them. I think, yeah.
yeah.
You
Like,
Greg?
well, I
Sasha?
mean,
Sasha.
so many
Well,
people
and I
invested
feel
in
like at
brewery
that time,
stocks.
like just before COVID,
Angel.
during COVID, that's when the seltzers really started to become a thing too.
Sasha.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you think about it, one of the biggest drivers behind craft beer was the fact that you could go down to a bar and buy a flight or buy pints, and it was a good place to hang out.
Yeah.
And COVID put an end to that.
Well, here's the thing too, and brewing a beer compared to brewing a seltzer or creating a seltzer. All you're doing with a seltzer is basically
Dan.
like in infusing.
Hey,
Oh,
Dan.
he's what?
Hey, Dad.
Welcome, Dan.
Look at the nerd wearing glasses.
With a
Yeah.
seltzer.
You'll have
I
4 eyes.
feel like all you're doing is infusing some water with some alcohol and some flavoring, and then carbonating it and putting it in a can. Like the process
Yeah.
for making a seltzer has got to be like at least, I want to say 10 times, if not more, cheaper than brewing a beer. And even just brewing a beer, you have to wait.
You're not wrong. It's basically
to wait.
distilled corn.
Making a
spirit or
seltzer, there's no
whatever it is.
waiting. You just push a button on a machine, it probably pumps out cans of it. There's no.
I like
Yeah.
to make my own seltzer. I just get a can of Perrier or a hop water or whatever your carbonated beverage of choice is, and then add vodka or gin to it, and boom, seltzer.
That's basically the same thing.
Gin's
And
got
again,
more flavor though. So Pierre Bernou says, "Cheers, West Coast Nick." And speaking of which, let's actually put Dan up,
Hi.
and he has to basically say everything. First of all, how you doing tonight, Dan? And welcome aboard.
Oh my God! What the hell? What time is it? What day
Big
is it?
Square
What
on your face.
Yeah, the square thing. It happens. I had to.
keep swatting it
Yeah.
away. Keep swatting it.
Ha! No.
That's the Bukake target.
Okay, that's
No.
your Panasonic autofocus crap. Sony doesn't do that.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I gotta
shots
try and get
fired.
rid of it. Yeah, there is shots fired on that one. Tonight I'm doing good. I'm doing really good.
Yeah, perfectly good
feeling
working
hydrated?
other camera to use.
You feeling hydrated? Yes, I've got my water right here. Mm. Now, I guess my experience of the beer comes next, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yep. What's your history?
History of Collective Arts, lots. History of this beer, you're looking at it.
dick all. So that's
Dick
pretty
all.
much the same across the board.
Yep, but I like the price. I really like the price, as I showed earlier. I mean, it's not Bellwoods. Shots fired.
Yeah, no.
Well, no, and when you drink it, you're gonna find out it's not Bellwoods either. So
Okay, so whereabouts am I caught up now?
yeah, you're pretty much caught up.
Okay, good.
Hi, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
No worries.
Well, fuck you, Dan.
Fuck you guys too. I mean,
I should mention there's two
Four eyes.
comments that didn't go through the filter there on
Oh, is it
on
Paul?
YouTube. Yeah, from
It's
Paul.
Paul, isn't it? What did he say?
First, he says probably another overpriced basic bitch lager, and then he
Yeah.
says, "Oh shit, it's Dan unsubbed."
Wait, he was subbed?
yes.
I don't know.
Really?
Oh,
YouTube holds the word bitch.
Oh yeah,
Really?
YouTube's really fucking chintzy on a lot of shit these days.
There should
Does
be
Nick-
there should be a channel option where you can go in and like be like, I'm okay with swears.
Yeah,
and
Nick probably
Yeah.
said his channel that it's appropriate for children.
No, I got it set 18 or older, but it still doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, it still does it though.
It's bullshit.
Bullshit.
It's
Bullshit.
not like the old days when you can just call a person every fucking word in the book and just spam their chat with racists and
I was just gonna say,
sexist
where you can be
shit.
just openly
You know what
racist
Jordan
all over the
used to
place.
do?
Yeah,
Yeah, back in the day.
I wish when we could just use the N word on this show. Those are the days.
I don't care. I'm not doing
Man,
this. for the
I'm
views
just
so
waiting
much.
for one of my coworkers to get like someone's gonna walk in the lunchroom at the wrong time and it's a hate crime. Leave.
I don't do this for the views anyway. I do it for just because we usually have a good time doing it.
Do we?
And it's not lately.
Oh, I'm enjoying myself. Oh,
I'm having
Well,
fun.
actually, the hangouts have been pretty fun the last several weeks.
The hangouts have been good.
Yeah.
Totally been fun.
Oh, yeah.
you haven't been in them. Shut up.
Been a blast.
Yeah, Lee.
Yeah,
I'm
they've
off
been
the-
fun.
I'm
Fun
off
because
for the
there's
next
no
5
girl.
days. I can be in the hangout. Yeah.
There was no girls in the chat. We could all pull our dicks out and measure them. It was the best.
Yeah, it was just a regular
Sorry,
meeting of
I ruined
no, ma'am.
Yeah. Do our
My
national
bad.
anthem.
Yeah,
Blah,
yeah.
blah.
Medium, no, ma'am. This is the misogynist club.
I'm sorry. I'm such an awful human. Because
Lady
I
Lee and I started playing Sea of Thieves and everything just snowballed from there. I apologize for that. I'm sorry, everyone.
Snowballed. That's the clerk's
Now,
reference.
now apologize for the Holocaust
Yeah.
and 9/11.
Apologize for that. Did not see that coming. All right. So we ready to give some thoughts on this thing? I mean, there's really not much to think about. I'll put Carrie up here. Carrie, what you think?
It's a beer.
That's
Like
accurate.
this could be like any boring log. It's I don't want to say it is any boring lager, but it's not. It's not great. Like I can't explain it, but there's like a weirdness to it. And my can's actually pretty fresh. Mine's from May of this year, and maybe it hasn't had the resting period. There's like a lingering. Feels like almost like there's a film on my tongue after I take a drink of it. I'm not big on this beer. Style wise, I'm gonna go 6. And enjoyment, I'm gonna go 5.5.
All right.
It's yeah, like I'm not a lager fan. What it's not that I'm not a fan. It's just I enjoy IPAs and stuff more. Like lagers, I have no problem drinking them, but they're just boring to me. If I'm at someone's house, like I would enjoy a can of Bud probably more than I'm enjoying this right now, to be honest.
Dude.
It's no, Bud's fine. It's made with rice, and but it's a fucking fake ass king of beers. Most we know of no other beer that costs more. Blah blah blah. No, it's bullshit. But
Oh yeah, that's part's
it's
bullshit.
nothing wrong. It's you get a can of it, nice and fucking ice cold, goes down smooth. It's fine. This, it's still weird lingering on my tongue flavors. Yeah,
Boy.
not a big fan. So
So yours is May of this year?
May, I can read it. Glasses on. If I turn the can the right way. 17th. So May, June. It's barely a month old.
So it's the same as Lady Lee's.
Probably.
We are in the. Did you go to Algonquin beer store? LCBO beer store. Yeah. So
I went today.
and that doesn't matter probably with this beer being that this fresh and stuff, but it wasn't in the fridge because the LCBO.
Boy. I got some
Yeah.
thoughts.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Anyway.
throw down some money. Say I've got the oldest can here.
You might
Oh,
not.
You
Somebody
might
else.
not. You might not,
mentioned-
Ben.
I think Nick.
Why?
I think
What-
Nick had mentioned something about 2023.
Yeah, my can's from 2023.
What month?
I'll be honest, I can't read it.
Even with
the lettering
glasses.
the lettering is so squished together on the bottom of it.
Nick, you were off camera. I saw you you had to take your glasses off to read that. You're cheating.
I'm nearsighted, so I have to. I can't see. I can't
I'm
see
the same
too
way.
well.
I
up
can't
close with my
see. I have to
glasses
see 'em. I have to like take my glasses off to see anything close. I only use
Hmm.
my glasses from far.
I'm the opposite.
April
I have 20/20
19th,
vision. I guess I'm an asshole.
2023.
on. Gross.
I had 20/20 vision for the longest goddamn
Yeah,
time.
If I'm gonna guess, I think the label on mine is like late last year, like November or October or something. It's just the text is all squished together. That it's literally on top of each other.
Yeah. You can't see mine, but April 19th, 2023.
Wow.
You know what though?
Yeah.
The fact that it's a lager, if it was kept in the fridge,
It's just
it
extra
should
water.
it should be completely fine.
It's been extra
Almost
lagered, yeah. Like
But yeah,
well,
we'll see.
you saw it on its
Cold
shelf.
aged.
It was. I don't
Anyway,
think it was
Nick,
in the fridge.
move on. What the hell? Why am I still?
All right. I don't know. You're still talking. All right, let's move on to Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee, what do you think?
So for any alphas or zoomers out there, just let you know, this is not quite skibbity toilet water, but it's
Oh,
pretty
wow.
mid, no cap.
Whoa.
Jesus
Oh.
Christ!
So don't say shit you can't take back. Come on.
I hear
No,
no lies.
No
This
lies
is
here, no
on,
cap.
this is on videotape. You know, those kids can play it back.
Listen,
Take
They
it
can
from the man-
rewind
take
it.
a man with the straight drip here.
Listen, Greg. What didn't you understand about no cap? All right.
I mean, I understood. I
All of
understand
the
absolutely
above.
nothing about that.
Yeah. No, it's such a like just basic bitch like mid tier fucking craft lager. Like there's no hops going on really. There's nothing exciting about the malt. It's just like okay, this is a couple levels above cardboard. That's about it. It's all right. It's just I'm really fucking biased against these sort of things now when I'm such like a fucking Pilsner snob at this point. Like if I don't get like some good like noble hops or something coming in here, I'm gonna be a little bit more hard on it. Style wise, I guess it's a little bit all right. Like I mean, it's inoffensive. I'd say like a 6 for style. Like it does all the things, but it doesn't do anything special or exciting. For my own personal preference, I'd say 5.5. Like I drink it if someone handed it to me and I was like desperate for a beer. Is kind of where I'm at with it. Otherwise, I just wouldn't bother again.
All right. Fair assessment. All right.
Nope.
let's,
No cap.
No cap. Take it from the man with
Whoa.
the straight drip. Wasn't it?
Mhm.
All right.
Jesus Christ!
All right. So, Lee, what do you
All right,
think?
so I'm not going to be as much of an asshole as the other previous
Yeah.
people. This is like what I expect from a lager. Like I said, I'm not a fan of lagers. I find that if I'm going to have a craft beer, I want to have something that has something special to it. But if you're going to do a lager, I expect it to be as boring as fucking hell. Like that is just the expectation, and that is what they have, and that's what they crafted. This one doesn't have. So I find with a lot of lagers that I have, it has this like, you know that like the corn syrupy taste, like the aftertaste that
Yeah.
you like Yeah,
Yep.
this one doesn't have that.
Yup.
So I'm pretty happy about it. There is there is an aftertaste, but not nearly as what I get from like regular lagers. Also price wise, I was looking at the different prices. This is the same price as like a can of Bud, a can of Blue, a can of Canadian. So it's $2.90 before the sale price, but it's $2.90 a can, and all the basic like macro lagers are the same price. So when it comes to that, I think that's just kind of like their competitor thing where they're like,
Mhm.
here, let's have this basic beer that matches everybody else's. It's there. It's the basic beer that you have. Nothing special about it. There's nothing that's offensive or crazy or whatever. It's the perfect basic beer. It's just that. It's just a basic fucking lager that does what it needs to do. So, style wise, I'm actually just going to go right up there and give it a 9. Because literally what I expect from a lager. Just exactly what I expect from a lager. Personal preference, though. Again, not a lager fan. Mind you, I do prefer this over other lagers. So I'm gonna go. Let me just sip. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 7. It's something that I can drink. It's not offensive. It's easy. And I prefer it over other. And I would say other macro lagers, but like other lagers in general.
So it is the price of like Budweiser and Molson and stuff like that, right? Okay, so I see what they're going for then.
Yep.
I'm not changing my score, but it definitely is a better beer than Budweiser or Molson or Labatt or anything like that. Definitely.
Yeah, it's a basic beer. Like that's it. It does it right. It does a basic beer right, and that's kind of what I think they're doing. Exact same price as a macro, and it has nothing to it, nothing special. It's just a basic like people who get stuck somewhere where they're like, I only want domestic. This is it.
It's the beer you get if in a movie where you walk into a bar and you say, "Give me a beer."
Yeah,
It's a Duff.
It's a Duff.
It's that generic beer. It's like, remember Lost where they had that generic Dharma beer that they had? It's one of those things. It's like you go somewhere where it has a name brand beer.
That's like a Resident Evil would have an umbrella beer.
No name
yeah,
beer.
like it goes down easy. Like there's nothing about it that I drastically don't like. So it's a generic, easy maintenance beer that is the same price as the rest of those beers. So it does its job right.
All right.
The end.
Sounds good. Thank you, Lady Lee. Let's move over to Gorg.
Hi,
Everybody's
Nick.
favorite Gorg. Hi, Greg.
So, I think all of you make some valid points, and they say there's no such thing as wrong opinions, but I'm going to agree with Lady Lee, and the rest of you are wrong, because I'm basically with her on this, almost copy and paste. I've had this beer out at this point for about 45 minutes, and maybe longer, and it's nowhere near the temperature you should ideally drink a lager. It does have a little bit of an aftertaste, so I see where Carrie's coming from with that, but I mean, compared to, so you got two kinds of lagers, and this is the problem. You got the macro lager, and those always have that nasty corn syrup taste. And I'm very sensitive to that taste. So you got to drop a corn syrup in it. Fuck off. I don't want your beer. Then you got the craft brewers that they like to do the opposite. They make it hoppy. It's like, oh, this is almost like an IPL or something. Like it's like it might be good, but it's not really what you want from a lager. Lager is just kind of like, I just want a beer. I'm Homer Simpson. I want to go to Moe's and get a Duff. That's what I want from a lager. And you know what? This basically does the thing. I mean, it's priced right. It's, again, for at this point, it's not room temperature, but it's warmer than you'd want as a lager. It's clean. Again, does have that aftertaste, but it's not bad by any means. I got no issues with it. I mean, my biggest issue is the lager, so it's limited, right? Like it can only be so exciting, but it is what it is. I I'm actually going to echo Lady Lee's score. I'm going to give it a 9 for style because I think it is a good style. If it didn't have that weird taste to it, that I don't know what it is, but whatever that weird taste is, I might even go higher on it because as a lager, it's what a lager needs to be. But it's also a lager, so my personal preference is a 7 because
Twinsies.
it's fine, twinsies. Now, how can we make a lager more interesting?
Chalet sauce.
How can you
No.
make it more
Oh.
awesome?
No,
I
well,
was-
well,
I was
Well,
hoping that Nick just said chalet sauce.
no. It's in honor. See, this is brewed from Lee's bathtub. So let's see. In honor of Lee being here. Well, Lee's actually here quite often. But both Lees are here. It's not that often that both Lees are here. So, we're going to take a little bit of this beer from Lee's bathtub and let's mix them together. And let's see it. I don't know, it might be about 50-50. I don't know.
Can we just say male Lee, just so people know it's not mine? Because I think they would assume it's mine.
I mean, there are people out there who would buy your bathtub water.
Can I
I'm just saying they would.
Yeah.
That's
But
an
I'm just saying, I
OnlyFans
just need
channel right there.
to just
Can-
say
can-
this joke
can-
goes with like male Lee,
Well,
not Lee.
can we just say we'll call Lee and Leah? So
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Leah.
I would if I could. Oh, you know what? This is actually a really good cuvee. This
Let's
makes
try it.
sense. Now let's take some of Lady Leah's bathtub water.
Oh, Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
gross.
No, I didn't just see
Fuck.
this. I'm not watching
Yeah,
Gross.
this.
yeah.
No.
That's decidedly less good. So,
Oh my god.
Wow.
look, the moral of the story is don't drink Lady Lee's bathtub water. Drink
How's the
man-
body
drink-
on it?
Drink Manly's. The body's actually quite good now. It's
Man,
very-
you made it.
That's
You made it skibbity, man.
Oh, this is I don't even remember those cool phrases you were talking about. Skibbity, and then what's the other one? In house or something?
No cap.
No cap. Where did I get that from?
Deleted.
Ugh.
So this also proves that this kills brain cells. Look at that.
Yeah.
Deleted.
That's
It doesn't look as like it doesn't.
That
It
looks
doesn't
like
look
a
as bad.
sparkle puff to me.
No, I was
No,
gonna say
you
it
know what
doesn't,
it
it
looks
doesn't
like?
look as bad as Sparkle Puff to
It
me.
looks like those. It looks like those old innocent guns that the albino rhino was drinking.
this is what that innocent gun would look like at the back of Nick's fridge. Nick, pop it out. Come on.
I just find it
Gross.
absolutely hilarious that Lady Lee can't even bring herself to look at the screen right now. That's just too funny to me.
Surprisingly, you didn't say that's fire as soon as you drank the chalet sauce.
Bussin'. You gotta say bussin'. It's bussin'.
Bussin'.
The worst part is I've been saving the sous chalet sauce for like 2 weeks, so I don't know how long sous chalet
Oh,
sauce
you,
lasts.
God, you're gonna
that's-
get sick.
It's in the fridge.
Well,
it was in the
that's-
fridge.
that's-
It
nice
was in the
knowing you
fridge.
Even
That's
in the
okay.
fridge. Even in
Ah,
the fridge.
last time you
No,
did
but
this,
it-
to me,
Oh.
I was having
mass
massive
produced,
stomach
it's what-
issues. So obviously, I don't want to see this because it was a trigger for me to throw up.
Yeah.
Again, but that's
2-week-old
it's,
That
Chalet
is why I don't want to
Yeah.
watch it.
it's
That is why I'm
hilarious.
not impressed.
It's
So-
pretty funny.
Okay.
Move on.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
yeah.
you,
All
Greg.
right.
Before you.
All right, there will be no more chalet sauce on camera. Just Manly's bathtub water, which is still delicious.
All right.
Ah.
So 9 and 7 for Greg. Let's.
9 and 7. I agree with Lady Lee.
All right. Let's round this out and then ask Dan what he thinks. Hi, Dan.
Hi. Well, I don't have chalet sauce, so everyone's safe.
Good.
Sorry, Greg.
Doesn't have water either.
Don't have water either. Yeah, no.
yeah, they can't even make this. they
He's
can't
drinking
even-
beer today because he doesn't have any water to drink.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
Dan,
much.
Dan, you go to Swiss Chalet, you're just going to get the powder. They're not going to dehydrate it for you. or
Sorry, we
hydrate
can't
it
give
for you.
this to you. It's
Yeah.
got water in it. Yeah.
Collective Lager is so cheap in Alberta, you can shower with it. So
Yep,
good.
pretty
There you go.
much. I fill my bathtub with this stuff. That's only $50. It's okay.
Dan's got a still suit under his fucking clothes right now.
I've learned the ways of Dune. It's that thing that goes
Yeah.
to your nose.
Muad'Dib.
It's like...
Listen, I like Eve.
So yeah, as everyone was saying, it's a lager. As I say it, it's a stepping point for people who want to get out of macro and go into craft. It is pretty much one of those ones where people are like, well, I want something close to Budweiser or Molson Canadian or something else, and they walk into this place and they're like, oh well, shit, try this stuff. It's pretty damn close. So they get them hooked on that. They keep coming back, and then they start edging them up to New England IPAs or even I don't know, maybe even their other lagers that they have out there, because they do have other ones, don't they? But honestly, it would do the trick. Is it a lager? Yes. Is it something you would enjoy at a picnic, at a barbecue? Yeah. What was the percentage of it anyways?
4.9.
4.9. I was going to say 4.8, but so for the style, I've got to agree with two people here, and it's a 9 because it is a lager.
I started the trend.
Yeah. Now, enjoyability. You know what? If I was barbecuing and I wanted something to have light while barbecuing, I'd have this. Probably not in 30-degree weather because this doesn't taste any better when it warms up. But at the same point in time, it's not horrible. It doesn't have, I don't think it has rice in it. And it is it's a good price point. Like as I was showing you, it was $3.99 here, which honestly is a really good price point considering I was looking at some of the other stuff like Bellwoods, and they were like $7-8 a can, even for their basic bitch stuff. So I can't complain about it. I really can't. So
Collective
enjoyability.
Arts is probably producing the fuck out of this beer. That's why they're able to
They
sell it
are.
Like
Again. Oh yeah.
their one facility is the equivalent of like 10 times Bellwood's 3 facilities they have.
Oh yeah. And it's better than Minhas too. So I mean, we're already getting style points
They
there.
moved into a fucking previous, like what used to be a macro brewery in Ontario. It's a massive location.
Yep.
With massive tanks.
Well, wasn't that the old? Well,
It was the old
Collective-
Lakeport Brewery.
okay.
In Hamilton. And of course, it's
okay.
not, they downsized. Like it's not the entire capacity of the Lakeport Brewery, but
No.
they still have quite a bit of it.
Oh, it's still huge.
Yeah,
So-
it's big with a really tiny brew pub in it.
So my enjoyability score on this, I've got to go a little bit higher. I have to say 8. I'm not drinking a macro.
What?
I'm not drinking a macro, and if for a lager, it's a decent beer. It's not rice. It's not fucking. They don't put any shitty adjuncts in there. They don't put in any like bad like macro sugars or whatever else they have in there.
I'm done my
Chalet
beer. I was
sauce?
gonna say cheers, Paul.
Corn syrup.
Corn syrup. Those are the words I'm looking for. Thank you. So I mean, I can't fault it for anything. And if I want something like this on a hot summer day, I turn to this versus anything else. So yeah.
And it's not awful when it warms up, so that's actually good for a picnic because your beer tends to
Yeah.
warm up.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So that was
I-
8 for overall. And what was your style?
Oh no, it's a 9 for overall, or was it 8 for overall?
You gave 8
9
for
for
overall.
style,
Eight
8 for,
eight-
8 for personal
Okay.
preference.
8 for personal
Right.
preference, and style was a 9, I think.
Okay. Dan liked it the most.
Overall doesn't
Yeah.
exist because that would be both together.
Yeah. So yeah, I
Wow.
don't mind this.
I always call it overall. When I made the
Uh,
joke here.
I don't like these educated
Overall,
people
it's like
telling
what's
us
your overall
English.
enjoyment score? Overall enjoyment
Fucking
score.
educated bitches. Jesus Christ. Why are they on this
Jesus.
show?
Yeah,
Alrighty.
God.
Fuck Nick.
My show. What
Get
the fuck?
yourself together.
All right.
get out of here. This show's only for high school dropouts.
Oh yes, and yeah, you do. You
Sorry,
do.
like Greg here.
Paul, by the way, cheers to Paul. I didn't get a chance.
Cheers,
to say that.
Paul.
The proper
Cheers,
Paul.
Paul.
Cheers, Paul. All right, thank you, Dan. Let's put me up in here, and I'll try to spout some bullshit about this beer. All
right.
Talk about how
Are
I
you
feel
gonna
like it.
go team
Mike,
it's good or are you gonna go team
I'm
it's bad?
actually kind of in
Like-
between everybody here. I think this
that's
is
how he
a.
likes it.
I will preface this. I'm in the camp, and I think this is a quality, well-made product. Like it's a good, inoffensive lager. Ticks all the boxes in that regard. I feel like it's a well-made product. I feel like it's a little on the unexciting side. Flavor notes like body notes. It's got a nice, clean, crisp finish. Nice grassy sweetness. We drink it cold. It's got this nice quenching, cool, refreshing taste to it. Even when it warms up, this is one of the things that's kind of impressive of it. Because right now I've got this much left in my glass, and it's warmed up like almost to room temperature. And one good hallmark of a good quality lager is that it still doesn't taste like shit. Like a lot of those, like Budweiser would taste like a fucking garbage. Moosehead would probably be even garbagey right now.
Coors Light comes with mountains that tell you, hey, this is okay to drink. Drink it quickly.
Yeah,
Well, the mountains are blue.
And to speak to Redbeard's point, I do kind of get this weird, like lingering resiny kind of taste in the finish of the beer. Like, it's not bothering me, but I do notice it there. Overall, I mean, it's just middle of the road, good, decent, clean, quality lager. One of the biggest things I don't like about this beer, it comes with the price. Like Dan's so fucking enamored with the price. The price of this shit right here is $4.79 a can, which is still cheaper than any other Collective Arts beer that I get. But $4.79 for a fucking lager? Are you kidding me? Like, what would a
typical New Brunswick lager cost around where you are?
Well, Moosehead's a bad fucking example because I think it's like $4.29 for the same size can, but it shouldn't be. Like, I'm thinking like I would like this stuff if this were like in a 12 pack for like $30, like $28, $30 for a 12 pack of this. This would be really worth buying because it's what you want, a good standard clean easy drinking lager. And there's like these other alternatives in the Maritimes that are like that, like beach chair lagers around that same price, and it compares well to that. But in this case here, it's just so fucking expensive for the beer that I'm like, yeah, I would love to be able to use this as a summer crusher, and it's a good option, but it just isn't affordable in the same sense. And part of that is because they usually, like, New Brunswick Liquor charges more for any Collective Arts product, which is bullshit. Closest beer that I can think of that I can compare to, and I get, like, somebody was talking about, like, this is a brewery meant to bring people in. I feel like if you're going to the brewery, you got craft beer friends, but you're not super into beer, this is the most inoffensive beer that you can drink, and this is a good sell the most of beer that I would recommend to somebody. And it might be the gateway beer that would get you into drinking more stuff. And I feel like yeah, and I compare this to like Trailways Fetch, because they make the beer, they make their own lager that's kind of like the one where they want to they sell the most to the craft beer drinking public. Fucking stutter. Craft beer drinking public, but I feel like this is actually better than Trailways Fetch because this is actually a really, like, it's not heavy. It's anyway. But I digress. It's
$2.70 here in Ontario right now for a can of that.
For this,
it's on sale. It's 25 cents off, so I guess it would normally be $2.95, but even that is
okay. See, at that price, you could buy a six pack would be ridiculously cheap.
Audio visual was $3.35. It's still listed on the LCBO.
Oh,
so
wow.
This is
it really still listed on the LCBO?
Yeah. Well, actually, check availability. Let's do that.
Can you still buy it?
Yeah, how old are those cans?
Yeah, really.
Check nearby availability.
That's actually one point. Another point I want to make is like
one
this beer is
LCBO
apparently from late last year, and I don't notice the age.
Wait, Nick, one LCBO, one LCBO according to the app has one can of audio-visual lager left.
Wow.
One LCBO has one can left. That's pretty funny.
That's just an inventory error.
Yeah, that's There's no way that beer actually exists.
They're probably using it as a doorstop somewhere.
It's probably it's a beer that got shoplifted and then never got taken into the system.
I like Lee's. They're using it as a doorstop. I like that.
I mean,
that could be it too.
That is the best interpretation.
Yeah. All right. So, my opinion on this is that I'm not as enamored with it. I still think it's a pretty damn decent product. I'm gonna give it a 7 for the style, just because on one hand it's still kind of boring, but it's still 7 for style. But I'm gonna give it a 7 for overall enjoyment too. I'm still enjoying drinking this, and I would consider it more if it weren't for the fact that it's so damn expensive here in New Brunswick. Like, there's no way I would want to session this because it's just I'd be broke. Okay, so I think we got a pile of comments. Any volunteers to read?
I'll read them.
Alrighty,
All right.
put Lee up here, and I'll do the math.
All right. So
Now Nick's the duck face. Sorry. There's three of us
So-
who've been the duck face tonight.
yeah. So Paul says money shot
Been
in mod,
abducted.
which was a reference to the weird reticle that showed up on Dan's camera. Then we have Jimmy C in the chat saying howdy, folks. And I said
Cheers,
hello.
Jimmy.
I
Jamie?
said hello to Jimmy C. And then Paul says everyone is suddenly visually impaired over reviewing an overpriced craft lager. And I told him it's a collective problem, Paul.
Wah, wah. Wow. Boo.
And then Paul says collective arts makes people blind. Oh my God, outrageous. Then he was going on.
Correct.
Yeah, then he was going on about deserving cheers. Then he said yay because everyone gave him cheers. And then he said, oh, damn, another overpriced craft lager. Nailed it. So there you go. Unless there's something in the YouTube that I missed. Nope. It's all there.
All right, so just working on
Woo!
my high quality, state of the art graphics program called MS Paint, and I'll be
It's the only one I use.
So I've been
You know
looking
what?
at some of the lagers that we have in some of our craft breweries here. New Level Brewing, for example, their Hellion Lager 4-pack is $14 or $3.50 a can. If you get it in an 8-pack, it's $20. So they dropped the price there on that, but I think that's their old cans.
Weren't we just talking about how like it's priced exactly the same as like macro loggers?
This isn't a macro though. That's
But that's
That-
what I'm saying. Like as a
yeah.
craft lager, they would usually charge more, and macro loggers are usually supposed to be cheaper. So that's why I
yeah.
commented about it, because like usually the case
Yeah.
is like a big thing that's a turnoff with like craft beers is that they're more expensive, and this is the case of a lager that's the same price as what usually is a cheaper or more expensive beer is now the same price as your macro lager that are supposed to be cheaper beers,
right.
right?
Right.
So argument not there.
Well, I'm not saying it's. I'm not saying it's. I'm not arguing anything.
Oh, I meant
I
Paul's
mean-
comment. Sorry.
No.
I just read the last
Wow.
comment, didn't say it out loud, and I just assumed everyone knew what I was talking about because you guys
No.
can read
Wait.
minds, right?
Oh, we're talking about the
I would love to say
Overpriced
I'm with
craft
my
lager.
beer.
Yeah, like
I,
Well,
I
Yeah,
can't
I'm
read
thinking
like, minds.
like I was talking about when I did my spiel about two maritime craft lagers. Like there's Beach Chair Lager from BEI Brewing, which is Gahan, and there's Trailways Fetch Lager. They both come in a 12-pack that's reasonably priced. It's about $30 for 12-pack. I think you can actually get like a good cheap 15-pack of Beach Chair Lager from PEI Brewing. That's reasonably priced. And those are both good solid beers to drink. Like I like the Collective Arts Lager better than Trailway Fetch. It's evenly matched with the Beach Chair Lager, I think. But at the same time, I can get that in an affordable 12 or 15-pack as opposed to this stuff here in New Brunswick where it's just fucking overpriced here. But yeah, if I was like that $250 for a 473 ml can would be a pretty decent deal out in Ontario.
But you also have to remember too, Paul's also in the States, so he thinks everything's overpriced right now because he
Oh, yeah.
really cheap beer out there. So
You'd be surprised though. Craft beer can be really expensive in the U.S. It really just depends on the
Craft
brewery and
beer
the store you
is-
buy it for.
oh, you're not wrong. I mean, like
Because a lot of the shit you buy here, it's like, oh, it's the same price in the U.S., but oh, it's in American money.
Yeah,
American
yeah, it's
American money.
American money, stay
You-
away from
you-
me.
U.S. dicks.
Yeah, but like macro beer in the States is so fucking dirt cheap though. Like
Yeah.
it's obscenely cheap out there, and I think it's just because the corn industry is subsidized down there. That's one big thing, and also they to make it in mass quantities. There's not as much taxes, I think, on beer down there either. So it's a lot of it's just craft breweries charge a lot down there. And that speaks to something maybe in Canada the profit margins aren't as good because they can't really afford to be.
Yeah.
No, well, the government has to take their chunk, and if there's no profit margin in it for you, oh well, too bad.
Yeah, really. Maybe that's why they're all getting into NA beers.
That's why they're all getting to
No.
seltzers. That's where the money is.
Okay, so it's really funny because at work I'll always say, someone says whatever about what drink they have. I said, oh, they got an NA beer or an NA Heineken or whatever. They're like, what do you mean by NA? Because I'm so used to saying it with you guys. Like,
So not
American
applicable beer.
alcoholic.
Not applicable.
Yeah,
North
'cause,
American
like,
beer.
they don't drink beer and they don't deal with it, so they just think like, yeah.
All right.
So what
here's
do
our-
they call it?
Well, they'll say non-alcoholic, but I say NA.
Oh, okay. They don't understand NA. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're,
Like,
so they're
obviously,
stupid.
once you explain it, it makes sense. It's like a common sense thing where it just clicks in. But I also get it
Yeah.
that if you just see it, like, you're just very confused.
It's because our ways are superior. That's why.
Mm.
So ratings style overall is 7.7%, 7.7%, 7.7 for a style rating, and 6.7 for overall. Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it. Drink it. Don't drink it. Cuvee it. Don't
Don't
cuvee it.
cuvee
Do
it
what you
with
want.
chalet 2-week-old chalet sauce.
I actually don't recommend you do that, but
Yeah, I don't think I do. I don't think the CDC would recommend it either.
that being said, 2-week-old chalet sauce in the fridge is totally fine. That stuff would probably be good for a year in the fridge.
Gross.
Well, you know how many preservatives are in that stuff?
It's got a lot of salt.
Yeah,
You're so-
I wouldn't touch it after a couple of days, to be honest.
well, but that's because you're a germaphobe. Us normals know it's
I
fine
would
for
actually,
long.
yeah, I would pitch it this way. Like, if I got a thing of chalet sauce, it wouldn't survive the meal.
Fair enough. I don't
Yeah,
use
throw it in
chalet
the
sauce.
trash.
I fucking love that.
I don't use
stuff.
chalet sauce because I get the superior dark meat that doesn't need sauce.
I like sauce anyway. I just like
Greasy
sauce.
dark meat.
I don't know why Greg brought race into it.
Well,
Yeah.
I always have to. I prefer the darks.
Jesus Christ. Anyways, that's our show for tonight, guys.
Yeah. All right. I think that's her time. Like, we've run past the hour. It's time to look at Carrie's.
There's
here.
a nice link.
ass out of here. Switch the bloody machine off.
So I want to thank everybody for watching. We got Jimmy C in the chat. PA Brew News. That's pretty much it this week.
Yeah,
So,
Chris Peters killed those women.
That's what he
Indeed, he
said.
did.
And
Pickle murders.
everybody's favorite penis.
Bye.
Nice glasses, Carrie.